There's a turn up here. I'll kind of see what we can do this at. It's not bad. And the bump coming out fairly smooth. Hey everybody, today I am going to go over rebuilding Fox 2.0 reservoir shocks, and I'll show you why right here. If you look right here, we got some grease and oil, and then if you look up there, turn the light on, you can see it's been leaking, building up around it. Go to this side, not so much, very slight. It's not building up down here, so that one over there definitely needs rebuilt, and we're just gonna do them both and the fronts. So anyway, let me get these off. Okay, I'm in the shed. I have the shock off. This is an 11-inch stroke shock. So realistically, you want your ride height about the middle. When it's mounted, part number on these is a 982-26-819. And there's some other number, not sure what it is, an 114874. So, first off on this one was not leaking. So, what you do on these, there is this little bitty, it's like a little airsoft pellet right here in the end of the reservoir. You just pick it out of there, set it aside. After you take the little plug out, we have to drain the nitrogen out of this thing, which I have this with a little needle on the end, and this that screws onto here, along with the valve that I can open and close so it doesn't just come shooting out of there. So I'll thread this one onto here. Okay, always keep this thing covered and taped up because I really don't want to get stuck with a needle. Kind of one of those ones when I go to the doctor and get stuck with a needle, I get really pale and I'll possibly faint. Don't like them. But if I'm sticking something, it doesn't really bother me. Okay, so get this way. There's a little hole up in there. So just do that. And then you turn this one in and it'll depress the thing and bleed it off. You do not want to bury that one on this thing. It'll mess up the thing. So it's still bleeding off. Let it sit there a minute. Let it do its thing. Okay, and pull the needle back out. We're good. Cover it back up. Set it over there. Now I'm going to take this little Allen out, but you're supposed to be able to depress this. Yep. And it's depressed. So now you can get the little ring out right there, which we have a pick or one of these picks. We'll see which one will do. Okay, I popped that little ring out. Okay, basically I was trying to take this plug out, which did not come out. It will. I just got to get this held, pull that out. I have a little new plug for that. But what worked was getting this in there and then turning and pulling up, which got it out of there. And there is your IFP piston down in there. So we didn't have any oil leaking into this side, which is good. Now this wasn't in there very hard. I basically took the screwdriver, tapped right there and right there on that side, and we have this loose. So you slide that up out of your way. Now you got another one here. So this piece here, you're going to take and push it down, and you're going to take another little thing here and hook that one and pull this one out. Got that out. Okay, have this cup here to catch the oil. Now I hung on to the top of this and pulled the shaft all the way up so I didn't have oil trapped up above there. So a little bit of oil in that. Not bad though. I'm going to use this rag here around the body of it and just slowly try to work this up like that, and let the oil drain out back down. And there is my wear ring right there. Goes on there. A little dirty down in there. Kind of a little weird looking shim stack. I'm gonna figure that out here in a minute. Let's dump the oil. Yeah, it's dirty. Let's push that. See if we get oil from. Yep, we do. So my reservoir's full of oil in there. We're gonna push back out of there. Okay. There's all the oil out of here. Okay, that's looking down in there. Pretty yucky. We'll get that cleaned out pretty good. Keep it kind of angling up. And that is, hold that up to the light, see that. And then here is my new oil. So if that gives you an idea how dirty that was. And this is my shim stack. Okay. This side is your rebound side. That's your wear ring. Pretty good. That is your compression side, which they doubled. Looks like they used a double on that, and then tripled on another on the compression side. Huh, pretty odd. Okay. My wear ring, well, you can see there's some gunk on it. It's not horrible. That goes right there, like that. So this is your compression side. As it goes down, fluid flows up in through that, on that, and then your rebound, as the shock expands, comes back through and pushes on this. Alright. Okay, on the end here, you have a 19. Took that off. Now what I did, I just stuck a ratchet extension in there, and this fits perfectly. And that worked for a holdback, so you don't have to clamp the shaft in nothing. Take this off. Now, here's where you got to keep track of what you are doing. See, I pulled that off and an actual shim came off with these. So we're going to do this one at a time. Oil's trying to keep them stuck together. So I'm going to just set these down in order. That is one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 4 shim stacks on that. And you have your piston. It's going this way. Okay, so this actually has a specific way it goes back on. Okay, well, you see these the little notch right there? There's one. Take and flip it over. There's 2 on the compression side, so it is going to go that way. Alright, now the way I'm setting it down is this way. That is a weird shim stack. Let's pull this whole shim stack off together and place that on top. Now I have this that we need to try to rebuild, and then we'll probably try to replace the gasket inside that one. Okay, moving this whole shim stack. Whoops, got to watch out with that. Okay, put this whole shim stack right there, so we can work with this piece, which goes that way, and this one goes that way. Okay, the part number for the rebuild kit is 803-23705. It's for a 2.0 Performance Series with a .625 shaft. This is the bag. Let's lay it out here. See what we got. There's your wear ring. And you got a new rubber for your shaft. Let me pull this one off. Might as well put a new one. Now, the next piece is going to be this one, which I do believe is not that one. It is possibly this one. Or it's that one. I'm not sure, guys. There ain't a whole lot in this thing. I guess it is not this one. It's this one. See if I can pick it out of here without damaging anything. Literally dig under it and pull it out. Well, we're gonna have to get a better screwdriver and hope we don't jab ourselves in the hand. Maybe we go from the top side. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, that's one down. We're gonna clean that up before we put it back. Okay, I got that piece with the new seal on it. Put a little bit of oil on it, slide it back on. Now, one thing I didn't say was you want to inspect the shaft on it really good. Make sure there's no burrs up here where you're going to be slipping over. Make sure there's no nicks in it. So this one looks really good. I don't see any rock chips. I don't see any kind of actual wear on the actual shaft. So now we're gonna go for rebuilding this thing. Okay guys, this little piece here is what goes in the end on the shock and has your seal, has this piece, little O-ring. This goes around the outside of it right there, and this sets in there. I'm fixing to go clean this up, but this little bushing goes inside there, and the thing is pretty, took me a little bit to figure out a good way to get it out of there. And what I ended up doing was a 3/8 NPT, 3/8 by 18 NPT tap. Basically started it into the bottom side, ran it into the bushing almost to where it got to where the O-ring would have been setting, and clamped this into the vise and took a little rubber mallet and heated this up and then tapped it out. So there's a little tip for getting that little bushing out, because you're not going to get it with a screwdriver or a pick. That takes a little bit of doing on that one. But anyway, I'm going to take this the rest of the way apart, which is fairly simple, because it's just another little, whatever you call it, little snap ring thing on there. This one's got some dirt in there, so I'm going to blow it out. Turn my hair back on. Okay, grab my little pick and get underneath it. These little rings aren't that hard to take out, y'all. They're fairly easy. So this, then you just, pretty sure you can just slide. Oh, apparently there's some stuff in there. So yep, there's a little bit in there, not much. Okay, this has a little shim stack on it also. That's kind of cool. So, you see here? It's got a shim stack on that. Okay, I'm gonna go clean this up. Okay, to put this little bushing back in, I stuck it into the vise, stuck a piece of wood on this side, and a washer on the back side of that, and just tightened the vise in, and that pressed it back in, and make sure it's flush all the way around. Okay, I got a little bit of oil here to help this thing go back together. This one gets a new O-ring, which is that O-ring right there. There we go. Get rid of that O-ring. This is the new O-ring for this one. Man, that sucker is tight. Okay. Okay, we're slipping the shim packs back on. Wiping these things off as I go, making sure I stay in order. Now this setup has a pretty firm stop and a pretty hard mid. I may play with it another day. I'll see if this oil changes anything along with the nitrogen charge. There's a couple different ways you can set these up, which I think is pretty cool. This one is the O-ring for that, I believe, if I'm correct. Maybe. Oops. Come on. Come on. Get off there. Yes, it is. So, get rid of that O-ring. Wipe this groove down. Okay. Now this, we want, there's a little tab here. The way they had it set up, this tab was in the middle, like that. Now we go back to putting the rebound on here. And it doesn't matter, it can go however it wants. There's no slots. Okay, I poured 18 ounces of oil into this. This is my reservoir. And if you don't do this correctly, it's not going to function right. This is the bottom of the reservoir. Put the IFP piston in flush with the bottom. And we are going to fill it up here to the top. Get it right about there. So it's right about where the seam, or where the little clip goes. We're going to take this and feed it down onto it. Hopefully without spilling a bunch of oil. Whoop. Yep, we're going to spill some. Now, have the other end down in there. I'll try and get this down in it. go down too far, do not worry about it. You take your clip here. As long as you can get your clip in. Now we have that. Alright, we have these things right here. We're going to place up here and flip this over. So this way we can stick it into the vise. Okay, I got it clamped into the vise here. We just kind of made these little blocks of wood round so we're not clamping onto the body. Right now it is empty. I have the IFP piston right here. We're going to push this one down. Okay, so take and fill this up. What we want is about 1.5 to 2 inches from the top of this one. That's bottomed out. Okay. Now I can take a note of this. I'm going to actually dump a little more because we spilt some. And if you end up with air in here, well, it doesn't function. So, that looks about right. You take your piston, the shaft, take the shaft here. I think we'll put a little bit of oil around this. And our wear band. And make sure it stays on there in the correct location. A little tricky to get, but once you get it, it's there. Okay, now you don't just shove it down, kind of work it slow. Make sure the air comes out. And we don't want to push the IFP piston up. Get another rag, because this is going to be a mess. Okay. You see about where I'm at here. And that one is still down at the bottom. Just got an air bubble. Okay. I'm going to take and slide this down. You want the air to come out of it. Whoa. Kind of slipped real quick. And we're going to, a little bit, we're going to get a bunch of oil out of this anyway. So, no matter. going. We need it to go down enough. We can get our little clip in there. Clip ready. Go ahead and feed it on. Almost. That's it. And wipe out the oil. And get ready to put this thing back together right here. That's that. Take my little mallet. That's in. And take our cap for right here. Okay, put the other ring on. Ow. Okay. You want to make sure they are seated, because if they're not, you're going to find out real quick when you put nitrogen to it. I usually bleed this out for a minute. Okay. Shove the needle down in through the middle there. Oh, she popped. Okay, I'm just waiting for this gauge here. Takes a minute. I'll let it sit till we're sitting at 200. It's a very small hole through that needle, so it takes a minute for it to actually pressure it all the way up to 200. Okay, I think we're good. Call that done. We got the shocks finished up last night. On the back, I'm going to do the fronts today, but I'm going to show y'all real quick. We're fixing to put these back on. This is with no shocks. So yeah, it's a little bit, if your shocks are bad, it's going to do that. So anyway, I'm going to put these on. I'm going to go do the fronts and I'll get them put back on, and then we'll take this for a ride and we'll show y'all how they do. Alright guys, we got all 4 shocks on and we're just out driving around a little bit trying to find a good area to test them, kind of see how it handles. Alright, I think I found a pretty good road that we can do a little bit on. Whoops, we just broke this little leg off. Okay, let's see how this does. Holding the camera here. little ones up pretty good. This is not a smooth road. Man, guys, I'm driving straight into the sunset. As the story would say, driving off into the sunset here, y'all. So, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. And I hope y'all will go down, like, and subscribe. I might be back to make another video on this. I might try to tune these and get a little bit better high speed out of them. They're pretty good, but they're pretty stiff on high speed bumps, which I know keeps you from bottoming out, but I'm really not going super high speed on some whoops right now. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all go down, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.